When sugar becomes a silent kill, you might think. A little sweetness can't harm anyone. A cup of milk tea after lunch. A slice of cake to relieve stress. A soda when you're feeling tired. But what you don't realize, every spoonful of sugar today adds to a glass already overflowed. You often feel thirsty, hungry quickly, fatigued all day, losing weight without reason. You dismiss it as stress, work, or the weather. But perhaps it's not that. Maybe your blood sugar is off the charts. Maybe you are living with diabetes without even knowing it. According to the International Diabetes Federation, 1 in 2 people with diabetes are unaware of it. When diagnosis finally comes, many have already lost vision, suffered kidney damage, or had limbs amputated. Startling facts: in the world now has over 5 million people with diabetes, and that number doubles every 10 years. Even more alarming, 30 to 40% of young people around 30 years old are pre-diabetic without knowing it. Diabetes doesn't hurt. It doesn't cause fever. It doesn't make you collapse instantly. But day by day it destroys your blood vessels, nerves, heart, eyes, and kidneys. Diabetes is silent, but its consequences are anything but light. And if you're watching this video, perhaps it's time to look again at your body, listen to its silent signals, and start the journey to understand, control, and beat diabetes before it's too late. What is diabetes? When your body loses entire diabetes is not simply a disease of eating too much sugar. It's a chronic metabolic disorder where blood glucose levels remain elevated long term, and the body can no longer regulate them. Why does this happen? Glucose is essential fuel for your body's cells. But to enter cells, glucose needs insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. Insulin acts as a key, opening the cellular door so glucose can enter and be used for energy. In diabetes, one of two things happens. Either the pancreas doesn't produce enough insulin, or the body becomes resistant to insulin, making it ineffective. The result: glucose can't enter cells, stays elevated in the bloodstream, leading to chronic hyperglycemia, the hallmark of diabetes. What types of diabetes are there? Type 1 diabetes, 5 to 10% of cases autoimmune immune system attacks. Insulin-producing cells, mostly in children and teens, requires lifelong insulin injections. Type 2 diabetes, 90 to 95% of cases, mostly in people over 40 but rising in younger generations, strongly linked to obesity. Sedentary lifestyle, excess sugar and fat, controllable with diet, exercise, and medication. If caught early, gestational diabetes occurs during pregnancy, usually in the 2nd or 3rd trimester. If uncontrolled, can harm both mother and fetus. Why is diabetes dangerous? This is not a one-day sugar crash. It's the slow accumulation of metabolic imbalance over years. It doesn't strike immediately, but eats away at every organ, every blood vessel, every nerve. Too much glucose in your blood acts like sweet acid, gradually eroding your health from the inside. In summary, diabetes is a modern disease born from convenience, excess, and sedentary lifestyles. It robs millions of energy and health every year, but it's also a disease that can be controlled and even prevented when understood early and tackled consistently. Causes: who is silently helping diabetes knock on your body's door? Diabetes doesn't arrive overnight. It's not a calamity that descends from the sky. It's the result of cumulative habits you thought were harmless, repeated day after day, until your body starts losing control. 1. Diet too rich in sugar and refined carbs. You may avoid candy, yet every meal of white rice, milk, tea, sweet bread is hidden sugar. Consuming it regularly forces your body to produce more insulin. Gradually, cells become insulin resistant, leading to diabetes. It's not sugar that kills you. It's too much sugar every day, unknowingly. 2. Lack of movement. Lazy body, overworked insulin. You sit in your office for 8 hours. You go home and collapse from exhaustion. You take elevators instead of stairs. These seemingly small acts prevent your body from burning extra energy, leaving glucose unused and floating in your bloodstream. 3. Overweight, belly fat, visceral, adiposity. A big belly is not just unsightly, it's dangerous. Visceral fat is a silent inflammatory reservoir that causes strong insulin resistance. People with large waistlines are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop diabetes. For prolonged stress. When emotions disrupt metabolism, stress raises cortisol levels. Cortisol prompts the liver to release more glucose into the bloodstream, but the cells refuse to take it in. Stress not only exhausts your mind but destroys the glucose regulation mechanism. 5. Genetics and age. If your parents or siblings have diabetes, your risk is 2 to 3 times higher. As you age, your pancreas functions decline. Postmenopausal women and men over 45 should be especially vigilant. Genetics is a smoldering fire. Unhealthy habits are the fuse. 6. Gestational diabetes and PCOS. Women with gestational diabetes are at high risk of type 2 later. PCOS often comes with insulin resistance and hormonal imbalance. In summary, diabetes isn't just eating sugar. It's a comprehensive picture from diet, movement, mental health to genes. When you understand the causes, you hold the key to prevent and control it. Symptoms, silent signs that are never INOCNT. Diabetes doesn't knock loudly. It tiptoes in through the smallest, most ordinary signs, and if you don't listen, you'll only realize it when complications have already begun. 1. Excessive thirst and frequent urination, especially at night. You drink more water than usual. Your mouth is dry, your throat parched, and every night, you wake up to use the bathroom. This is a sign of high blood sugar. Your kidneys are trying to flush out the excess glucose through urine. Your body is eliminating sugar by drawing water from itself. 2. Persistent fatigue. Even without strenuous activity, you feel out of battery all the time, still hungry after meals, unable to focus or work, just wanting to sit still. That's because glucose is trapped in the blood, unable to enter cells to provide energy. 3. Slow healing wounds. Prone to infections, even small cuts take forever to close. They become swollen, red, or pus-filled. Recurring skin infections and fungal issues. Diabetes damages small blood vessels, reduces immune response and skin regeneration. 4. Blurred vision. Unexplained decline in eyesight. You have difficulty seeing while driving at night. Reading becomes harder. Sometimes you experience flashing lights or blurriness. This could be a sign of diabetic retinopathy if not treated in time. 5. Unexplained weight loss. Even with normal eating habits, your body starts breaking down muscle and fat for energy because it can't use glucose properly. This is a common sign of type 1 diabetes or advanced diabetes. 6. Itchy skin, dry skin, genital yeast infections. High blood sugar provides an ideal environment for fungus to grow, especially in moist areas like the groin, underarms, between fingers. Persistent itching, especially at night. Important. Note, if you have 2 or more of these symptoms, especially excessive thirst and nighttime urination, persistent fatigue and unexplained weight loss, get your blood sugar and HbA1c levels checked as soon as possible. The sooner it's detected, the easier it is to manage. If you wait until your eyes blur, legs go numb, or wounds won't heal, it's no longer a warning, it's already a complication. Consequences. When high blood sugar quietly destroys the body, diabetes doesn't kill you in a day. It eats away at you bit by bit, silently, yet mercilessly, and if uncontrolled, you'll lose parts of your body while still alive. 1. Eye complications. Losing the window to your soul, blurred vision, cataracts, retinal hemorrhage. Damaged retina leads to permanent blindness. Diabetes is the leading cause of blindness in older adults. You no longer see loved ones clearly. No more reading, no more driving. Light slowly fades from deep within your eyes. 2. Nerve damage, loss of sensation, paralysis, numbness in limbs, burning sensations, night cramps, loss of pain sensation. You don't notice injuries. Leads to foot ulcers, gangrene, potential amputation. A minor burn can become a lifelong wound, and your feet may no longer walk with you. 3. Heart complications, sudden death without warning doubles the risk of heart attack, stroke. Arteries harden and narrow day by day. Diabetes is a major co-conspirator in coronary artery disease. You may look fine until your heart suddenly stops, and there's no time left to say goodbye. For kidney damage, lifelong dialysis. Diabetes is the #1 cause of chronic kidney failure. You'll need dialysis weekly or monthly for the rest of your life. Treatment costs are high, and quality of life declines drastically. When your kidneys surrender, you rely on machines to survive. Every passing moment becomes a fight to stay alive. 5. Systemic complications. Total body decline, dry skin, hair loss, bad breath, muscle wasting, weakened immune system, prone to infection. slow recovery, mood swings, anxiety, prolonged depression. You are alive but no longer truly living. Conclusion: diabetes is a painless disease until it's unbearably painful. It doesn't hurt when it begins, but hurts deeply when complications set in, and by then, regret comes too late. How to manage and treat diabetes. Addressing the root cause diabetes isn't the end. It's a wake-up call, your body demanding a comprehensive transformation. If you're committed to taking action, you can live healthily and joyfully with this condition. 1. Adjust your diet. Your first line of defense: limit fast-absorbing carbs, white rice, white bread, sugary drinks. Favor slow-release foods: oats, sweet potatoes, brown rice, vegetables. Include enough protein and healthy fats, fatty fish, omega-3, eggs, olive oil, nut butter. Eat smaller, more frequent meals, 4 to 5 times a day to stabilize blood sugar. Don't skip breakfast. Don't eat late at night. Every meal is a choice. Nourish health or feed the disease. 2. Exercise regularly. Burn off excess sugar at least 30 minutes per day, 5 to 6 days a week. Suggested activities: brisk walking, cycling, swimming, yoga, tai chi. Light activity 30 minutes after meals helps reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes. Exercise also relieves negative emotions, boosting mood and optimism. 3. Maintain a healthy weight. Improve insulin sensitivity. Losing even 1 kilogram of fat is a big step toward better glucose control. If you're overweight, aim to reduce 5 to 10% of your body weight over 3 to 6 months. Avoid crash diets or extreme detoxes. They harm muscle, liver, and kidneys. Slow and steady wins the race. 4. Medication partner. Closely with your doctor. Don't stop or change doses on your own. Prescriptions may include oral hypoglycemics, metformin, glimepiride, insulin if needed. Regular checks: HbA1c, fasting glucose, post-meal glucose. Medication helps control, but lifestyle is the long-term game changer. 5. Support with natural supplements if appropriate. Cinnamon, gymnema, sylvester, melasma, barbitanum have studies supporting blood sugar control. Important: use from reputable sources. Do not replace prescription meds. 6. Manage stress. Balance your hormones. Stress raises cortisol, raises blood sugar. Practice meditation, deep breathing. Unplug 1 hour per day. A calm mind equals stable glucose levels. Conclusion: diabetes isn't a death sentence, but if left uncontrolled, it's one you sign yourself. Understand and act, and you can live healthy, full, and free. Finale: a healing journey for those who refuse to give up dead. You know, diabetes doesn't kill you quickly. It silently steals your health, good sleep, small joys. It makes you anxious about every meal, exhausted in changing weather, and fearful every checkup. But the scariest thing is not the illness. It's surrendering, mentally believing, I can't change anymore. The truth is, you absolutely can. The human body is a masterpiece. Even when damaged, it heals silently. If you give it a chance, every small act: breakfast on time, post-meal walk, proper hydration, 10 minutes of meditation is a heartfelt apology to your body and a promise to your future. Choose proactive living instead of merely managing. You weren't born to depend on medication for life. You weren't born to carry chronic illness every day. And you weren't born to live within the bounds of fear. You deserve a full, healthy, and free life. To you, who's reading these final lines, thank you for your patience and care in listening to your body. Remember, you're not alone. Many are starting over one small step at a time and winning their battles. Healing isn't for the perfect, it's for the ones who refuse to quit. If you found this video helpful, please share it with loved ones and friends. You might help someone prevent a serious complication. And don't forget to subscribe so I can keep supporting you on this journey to a healthier, more mindful, fulfilled life. Health is a choice, and you can start again starting today.